Hey everyone. So this year we're going to kind of expand a little bit on the butterfly garden. Our butterfly garden was a huge success last year, very successful. We um, grew and released almost 50 butterflies last year, so that was very successful. We'd like to try something. It was nice to go outside and look at the pretty flowers and the butterflies and everything, but that's really all the enjoyment that we got out of it. So this year I wanted to try and get create something that we can eat. And so I thought for a while, it's rather difficult, especially here in Florida. I don't know if you have a garden at home, but the heat is so intense and the soil is so sandy. It's rather difficult in Florida to keep and maintain a vegetable garden, a successful vegetable garden. So I was trying to think, what was the best way to do that? And I researched for a little while, and I came across this method of growing called hydroponics. And hydroponics is growing without soil. That's basically growing in water, what it is. And it goes way back to if you research the hanging gardens of Babylon, that was how they grew their plants in the hanging garden. So it goes way back to ancient times. So it's not a new process, but it is gaining popularity because we are running out of room. There's not a whole lot of space to have gardens. We're also exploring, possibly going to Mars and living on the moon and things like that, where soil is not readily available. So we need alternative methods to grow our crops. So hydroponics could be that way to do it. So hydroponics, we're submitted some grants to try and get some actual real industrial type hydroponics growing units. One of them that we'll put outside that'll grow larger flowers such as tomatoes and cucumbers, and two of them that we'll be able to keep inside that'll grow the more leafy greens, the lettuces, spinach, bok choy, and stuff like that. So we've submitted grants to get, hopefully, fingers crossed, get those in the classroom. But hydroponics is simple, and you can do it. You can really do it at home with stuff that you probably already have, either in your trash can or on your shelf or whatever. But they're stuff that is readily available at home. So you're going to need some different components of the hydroponic system. The first thing is you're going to need a container to put the hydroponics and the growing solution in. So that container needs to be durable enough to last, um, you know, for the life of the plant. So anywhere from 3 to 6 months. And to be honest, you want something that you could, once the plant is done, you can dump the stuff out, clean it out, and then reuse it. So something that is plastic or something that is glass for the container. Then you need what's called a net cup. The net cup is it's available on Amazon, or I will show you a way to create your own net cup out of something that you might already have. And you can also take the water bottle top like this, that you've cut off the top of the water bottle, and as a last resort, you can use that as your plant holder. Okay, so that you've got your plant holder, this or something like this. That's the K cup. All right, but you've also got the what holds the seedling. So what holds the seedling is something like this, and this is called rock. See, the seedling is nestling inside there, and it's actually growing in this rock. So this you need, and that again is available through Amazon. It's called rock wool. What it is heated up rock that's spun into very thin fibers that they kind of compress, bunch it up into that right there, and it grows. It's very porous. It allows the roots to grow through the rock wool very easily. So you'll need something like that. You can also use coconut husk, which is available at some place like Lowe's. You can use aquarium rocks, but the larger the better. But you have to be very, very careful that you don't compact your aquarium rocks too much in there, and the roots won't be able to get through it. So you can use that. You can also use this right here, which happens to be a pool noodle. Got this at Walmart for 97 cents. It's about 4 feet long. And I took and I cut about a 1 inch piece off. And it's got that nice little hole. This is where your seedling will go inside. And then this kind of just will fit into your container like that. And it sits nice and strong, you know, and it'll hold the seedling in there. Okay? So you can use several different things to hold your seedling. All right, and then the final thing, well, of course, you're going to need seeds. Now, you have to plan out a little bit. If you have a smaller container, such as a water bottle, you're not going to get a huge tomato plant that grows out of this water bottle. So you have to grow something a little bit smaller, such as the leafy lettuce, spinach, maybe possibly bok choy, and maybe you might be able to get a pepper plant in here, but I would say probably not. Okay, so you need something smaller here. Okay, now the larger you get, of course, the larger root system it'll support, so you can hold larger plants. Now, I have also made this right here. Now, this is a little bit advanced, but it's certainly not difficult. And this is actually, this is my old pencil container. I washed it out, and I took a piece of styrofoam that I cut to the size, the top of the plastic container. And this is styrofoam from an old TV. And I just took and cut it to the size of the container. And then I took and I cut holes, 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 holes in it. And then I put these right here. This is actually fruit cups, old fruit cups that I've obviously eaten the fruit out of, and then cut little holes for the roots to grow out of. And they slide right down in there. We'll fill this container up with water, and we'll be able to grow a little bit larger flowers. I am growing peppers over here, so I'm hoping to get those peppers into here very soon. Okay, so you need a container to hold your plants. You need a something to hold your seedling. Then you need something for the seedling to grow in, and then of course you need seeds. And then the last thing that you need is the nutrients. And if you look right there, I've got a whole bucket full of nutrient water that I've mixed up, pre-mixed up. We have a whole bunch of that water there, and then I can mix as much as we need. So if you do not have any nutrients at home, you can order the nutrients through Amazon. If you do not have any at home, either give me a call or send me an email, and then send in a container, and I'll fill it up, and then let you take some nutrients home with you. Okay, so you need a container, something to hold the whole entire plant. You need something to hold the plant inside the container. Okay, then you need something to hold the seedling or to grow the plant in. You need the plant, the seeds, and you need the water, the nutrients. All right, so those are the things that you need. Now, I'm going to take you through the basics of how to make one. Now, if you really are interested in it, the best thing to do is go to YouTube, because there is literally hundreds of videos on how to do this. And just search for at-home hydroponics or easy hydroponics or getting started with hydroponics, water bottle hydroponics, something like that. And you'll get a bunch of videos. All right. So the first thing that you have to do is you don't want algae to grow in your water. Algae is destructive to plant roots and it'll cause what they call root rot. So to prevent that, you have to stop the sun from going in and hitting the water. Now this one I have taken and I have sprayed it with black spray paint. You can also, this one right here, I've simply taken black construction paper, cut it down to size, and then wrapped it around. Does the same exact thing. The nice thing about this is you can lift it up, and eventually you'll be able to, when the roots start growing, you'll be able to see the roots growing. Okay? So you need something to cover it, or you need to paint it. The second thing that you need to do is you need to cut the top off. Okay? So now I've cut the top. This is, what, about 3 inches, okay? And then I can drop that in, and this can act as my, my cup to hold the plant, and then the roots, obviously you take the cap off, and the roots can grow down through the cap into the water. Now, if you're using the net cups that you've bought on Amazon, you have to be very careful not to cut off too much of the bottle top, because if you cut off too much, like I've done here, that's a lot, then the net cup will just fall inside. So you have to be very careful. So maybe turn the net cup upside down, make sure that you're not cutting off too much. This is what it looks like without the paint on it. You're cutting about with if you're using the net cups, you're cutting about 2 inches off, so about 1 inch less than, here's the comparison. So this is with the net cup right here, and this is without. So it's about 1 inch less for the net cup. Okay? All right, so now you've got your water bottle with the holder up there. Then you need to take and put whatever you're using to hold the seedling in. So if you're using the rock wool, you really simply just drop the rock wool in there, kind of push it down so that the root is going down through the bottom holes, either in your net cups, make sure the root is coming through, or in this case, you would make sure that the root is coming down through here, because the root needs to make contact with the water. Or if you're using these pool noodles, you simply just take your pool noodle and place it inside, like that. Okay? So now you're all ready, okay? Then you want to place your seedling inside. Now, one of the problems with using pool noodles is this hole is huge. You're not going to have a seedling that's going to take up this whole hole. So you're going to have to place the seedling in there and then put something inside that will hold it. Now you can use that coconut fiber. You can use peat moss or something like that to hold it in there, okay? Or you can use aquarium rocks, but you have to be very careful, because aquarium rocks will actually cut through the stem. They'll break the stem. So just be careful with that. So you stick that through. You remember you want your root just dangling just a little bit at the bottom, and then you place it inside. Then what you want to do is you want to take your nutrient solution, and you don't want to overfill it. Very, very important. Probably the biggest mistake that's made in hydroponics is you overfill the water bottle. You remember, you want your root to want to grow down into the nutrients, and you need air. There needs to be a pocket of air for the root to get the air. Okay, so you need a nice area of empty space that's holding nothing but air. So you want to take and fill up your nutrients to where it's just touching the bottom of the root. Okay, and then you set it under some sort of light. You can set it on your kitchen window or your bedroom window or somewhere where it's getting nice light. And then you just set it and forget it. Occasionally you want to check your water level. Evaporation does happen. If you've covered it, it should not happen too quickly. but you want to check every once in a while to make sure that everything is doing well. You can lift off your this top to make sure the roots should be nice and white. They should be snowy white. They have, you know, bacteria makes it change colors, and other bad stuff gets on there and makes it turn to brown. So if you're getting that, either you haven't covered it well, light's getting to it, maybe your nutrients, you don't have enough nutrients in there. Several things could be wrong with it, but they want to be nice and white, and it looks like it's like almost sewing like a sweater kind of out of the roots. And of course your leaves should be nice and green as they come out. Okay. Again, the best thing to do is to go onto YouTube and look for the different ways that people have done. There's many different people that have done the water bottle method, also the container method. The good thing about the container method is you can add an air stone to that, and then you can aerate your roots in it, and it seems to make them a little bit more healthy. Okay, you can add a little bit of air. You can hook up a little air pump to it, and then bubble some air into your container that will help the roots grow. All right. All right. So as always, if there's any questions, please feel free to email me and let me know. And thanks for watching.